Well, we don't get to see this very often. The city of Columbia, the USC campus turned into a winter wonderland overnight. Man, what a view. Thanks to student Cooper Hines sent in this video. A lot of this is probably melted off during the afternoon, but temperatures are dropping again, and that could spell some trouble. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us for this digital edition of the News at 10. I'm Brian McConkey. Now, 2 straight weekends of this winter weather, and we're not quite done with it just yet. I don't mean another weather system, but we're going to go to the SkyWatch Weather Center where meteorologist Will Rowe is. Not out of the woods because, well, when something melts, it freezes when it gets where we're going tonight. Talk to me, Will.
Yeah, Brian, that's right. So all that stuff is starting to melt. It is putting some puddles on the roadways and on the sidewalks. So as temperatures fall tonight, it likely is going to refreeze on surfaces like pavement or concrete. So if you are out and about early tomorrow morning or even tonight, you want to use extra caution. But here are the latest snowfall reports, and this still really hasn't changed much from earlier. About 4.5 up in Winsboro. Did get a pocket of 6 inches between Ridgeway and Blythewood. Got about 4 reports of 6 inches in that area. So that's definitely one of our higher spots, around 5 inches over towards Kershaw, up to 5.5 in Sumter County. I think here in downtown Columbia, anywhere from about 3 to 4, depending on where you are. There was a report of 4, but generally the consensus is around 3 inches. So somewhere in there, and then also about 3 to 4 inches over towards Newberry and Saluda counties as well. But whenever we zoom out and look at the entire state, everyone, doesn't matter where you were, from the beaches to the Blue Ridge Mountains, everyone did see at least some snowfall. The heaviest snow fell along the South Carolina-North Carolina border, up to 10 inches near Charlotte, almost 1.5 feet over here closer to Horry County, 12 over towards Dillon County over there. So everyone picking up on some snow. While we didn't see the highest snow totals here, we definitely did see a good helping of snow. But temperatures generally are above freezing at this point in time, and along with the sunshine that we saw this afternoon, most of that snow has really been allowed to melt, at least to some extent. But as it's melting, like I said, it is causing some of those puddles on the roadways or sidewalks. So all of that is going to freeze tonight as temperatures do fall. So a cold weather advisory is in effect from now until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, and that's because record lows are possible here in Columbia, going 11 degrees for tonight's low temperature. Now in the city specifically, I don't think that we will get this cold. It's likely more on the suburbs and the rural areas of town, but it really depends on what the temperature gets to at the airport as to what will be officially recorded. But the record low is 14, and I certainly think that there is a chance that that record could be broken tomorrow morning. But 10 in Winsboro and Newberry is what we're going with, 10 in Bishopville as well, 13 in Sumter, and also over in Orangeburg. So once that does start to melt, travel conditions likely will start to deteriorate. Already seeing some slowdowns on secondary and back roads, which is to be expected. But as temperatures start to warm back up tomorrow, back into the 40s, a lot of that should once again start to melt, but still use some caution because it looks like we will go back at least below freezing as we head into tomorrow night. But overall, we are in a warming trend. Eventually, we make it to the 50s as we push towards the middle of the week. Also, some rain showers do start to return in the forecast. So that's what I have for you now. Brian, let's talk about what's going on across the Midlands.
All right, we can do that. And speaking of talking about weather here, anytime, round the clock, you can get the latest with the SkyWatch weather app. Download it right now. And of course, we will continue to give you that team coverage right there with the app. Well, Columbia fire investigators say they have figured out what sparked a restaurant fire Saturday, and the frigid weather played a role in this. Officials say the fire was sparked by a heating device that was put on the floor at Hibachi Express on North Beltline Boulevard. Columbia fire officials reminding everyone to please be careful when you're using things like space heaters and other secondary sources of heat. Authorities tell us 4 people were inside the restaurant at the time of that fire, but everyone got out safely. And no word right now on if weather played a role in this fire overnight, but it forced 24 people out into the cold early this morning. Columbia and Irmo fire crews rushing to this scene at Bent Tree Apartments around 1 o'clock this morning. Now, if you're not familiar with where that is, that's off Zimmelcrest Drive in Columbia. That fire damaged more than a dozen units. Our Megan Gagno talked to people who live there. She joins us live now from the scene. Any word yet on what sparked the flames, Megan?
Brian, the Richland County Fire Marshal is still trying to figure that out, but here is what we do know. The 15 units behind me here were damaged by those flames, and families are left trying to process the terrifying moments that forced them out of their homes earlier this morning. Now, neighbors who lived here tell me they only had seconds to get out as the flames started spreading. 24 people were displaced, some running without shoes or socks in these freezing conditions. One neighbor tells me her friend jumped from a second-story unit just to get out. She's expected to be okay, but broke her leg and will need surgery. Another resident allowed me to get a closer look inside of his unit. He says the smell and sight of smoke jolted him and his wife awake, and they rushed out as fast as they could. For one woman and her son, the escape is something she says she'll never forget.
In the snow, these clothes, what you see is what I got. I haven't changed because I know this might sound crazy, but I just keep smelling the smoke. Why, I don't know, but it's something about the smoke that reminds me that within a blink of an eye, if I hadn't woke up, if you go there now and see what I saw, then you can understand how I feel, how it's just gone.
Family, friends, and the Red Cross are helping out some of these people who were forced out of their homes. Now, again, the fire marshal is still investigating what caused this fire, and coming up tonight at 10, I'll have Patrice Vance's full story. In Columbia, I'm Megan Gagno, Watch Fox News, Local First.
Thank you, Megan. Just a difficult situation there. Now we continue our team coverage of this winter weather in downtown Columbia. Our Mike White has been following the situation in the capital city the last couple of days. Talked to the mayor today about what they're expecting and when things will get back to normal. What's the latest?
Brian, the sun is down and the temperatures are dropping with it. And when I spoke to Mayor Daniel Rickman earlier today, that was one of his main concerns. All day here in Columbia, we saw the snow begin to melt, causing the roads to become damp. And now, as the temperatures are dropping, things are potentially start to freeze over. Now, that's why officials are encouraging people to stay inside and only travel if it's absolutely necessary. I also reached out to Dominion Energy, who said as of this morning, about 8,000 customers were experiencing power outages. They told me winds were a contributing factor, but most outages were restored quickly. Despite the severe winter weather conditions, people in the area are making the most of it. I talked with several people in the city today. Some say they haven't seen this much snow in a long time, and others were just having some fun with winter activities we don't normally get to have around here.
Honestly, I had a lot of snowball fights last night. I fell a lot, not used to the snow one bit. There's ice everywhere that I'm not used to either. And yeah, it was a lot of fun, definitely not used to it at all.
Last time I seen this much snow like this was probably when I was about 8 years old, when I used to live in Lexington, South Carolina.
Mayor Daniel Rickman also tells me that when it comes to the city returning to normal schedule, he hopes that happens tomorrow afternoon. Reporting in Columbia, Mike White, Watch Fox News, Local First.
Well, still a work in progress in the capital city and in most places here in the Midlands. You heard that young man talk about Lexington there. Well, that's where our Barley's Pimentel is. She's been in Lexington County camping out there the last couple of days. Things melted off during the day today, but the public safety officials over there still have a message. What do you have for us, Barley's?
Yeah, Brian, I'm going to give you a look at some of that melted snow. As you can see behind me, it looks pretty clear. But then if you go over here, there's still a lot of icy areas that will probably only get worse during the night as those temperatures continue to drop. And that's why officials continue to stress the importance of staying off the roads. As the snow was melting throughout the day, more people were getting in their cars and out on the road. There were slushy conditions throughout the afternoon. According to the West Columbia Police Department, there were no major issues or power outages overnight, but the roads are still a problem like everywhere else.
It looks like from the time the snow started to now, we've had 5 accidents so far. So if you must venture out, definitely be cautious around bridges and overpasses because those areas are still going to be far icier than the roads ahead and behind of them. I'm seeing, some slush starting to come, but as those temperatures drop again, things are going to ice over, and so just definitely be cautious.
The West Columbia Police Department says as we head into the night and temperatures drop again, to please check on loved ones and pets. Live in Lexington County, I'm Bralise Pimentel, Watch Fox News, Local First.
Well, the Highway Patrol, they have seen too much of this. Dozens and dozens of accidents throughout the Midlands, the upstate, the PD. This is an example of just how treacherous those road conditions can be. That is why public safety officials still, even at this point, after everything's melted off, that was a good thing during the day, but those temperatures are dropping, as you heard Will Rose say. So please, they're saying, please stay off these roads tonight. Tomorrow morning's going to be a little interesting as well. Probably quite treacherous. I say interesting, but that really means treacherous because, again, temperatures are dropping now that sun has gone down. Of course, Watch Fox News will keep you up to date with the very latest on this and everything we cover for each and every day. Real-time alerts, you can get them right to your phone. Just download the Watch Fox News app. You scan that QR code on your screen right now, and you can always go straight to the website, WACH.com. We also have a running list of some of these school closures and alterations to schedules for tomorrow. So everyone, take a look at your screen. These are e-learning days tomorrow. So the buildings may be closed, but school's still open when it comes to learning. Richland School Districts 1 and 2 e-learning tomorrow. Kershaw County Schools as well. Lexington, Richland 5, the Sumter School District, Lexington 4, all e-learning tomorrow. Fairfield County, Lexington 1, Lexington 2, closed tomorrow. Newberry County, they're not only closing tomorrow, but Tuesday as well. Some businesses, some other organizations also closing up tomorrow. Richland County offices, state government offices in Richland and Lexington counties. That's by order of the governor after reviewing things with the DOT secretary. Columbia International University tomorrow. That's shut down. Newberry County government offices will be closed, as well as a transfer station there and recycling center on Highway 34. All other recycling centers, debris and mulch facilities as well there in Newberry County. And if you need backup power for a medical reason, there is help out there. The South Carolina Department of Public Health has opened up its triage line. Call that number on your screen if you're having issues with power right now, although a lot of those things have been cleared up throughout the day. This is the best way, though, to access medical equipment, a power shelter. Keep in mind, people in those shelters should bring a responsible person to care for them. Public health officials will not be providing health care services in those shelters. And a reminder, you cannot bring non-service animals or pets. And because of the storm, the Department of Public Health gave the green light for early refills for specific prescription. Just a one-time move here. These are refills due through Wednesday. State officials say they're doing it as a precaution because of the potential that services could be disrupted. They don't want people who need those prescriptions not to have their meds due to the weather here. And to stay warm, here are some of the shelters that are available if you've lost power or you just need better facilities. Transitions Homeless Shelter in Columbia, also in Lexington County, Batesburg-Leesville Senior Center is available for this, just like they were a week ago. In Newberry County, O'Neill Street United Methodist Church, that's at 501 O'Neill Street. They will remain open as well. In Orangeburg County, the city there turning the gym on Broughton Street into a heating shelter as well. That will be open through Monday from 7 p.m. to 8 in the morning. And keep in mind, only service animals are welcome. And in Sumter County, the main emergency shelter and winter weather shelters there at those addresses on your screen, Artillery Drive and 215 Pine Street. Transportation being handled by the Santee Wateree Regional Transit Authority.
Well, again, a cold weather advisory is in effect until 9 a.m. tomorrow as temperatures could reach near record lows as we head into tonight. We're going 11 here in Columbia, Lexington, Saluda up in Camden, 10 in Winsboro and Newberry, 13 in Orangeburg, and 15 over in Aiken. Now, I don't think the city will actually get this cold, but definitely the suburbs and the rural areas around the city definitely has that chance of getting that cold. But the record is 14, so there is definitely a shot of breaking that record low here in Columbia. And as those temperatures do fall, any residual moisture on the roadways from the melting snow is going to refreeze. So that is going to create some slick spots on the roadways as we head into tonight and tomorrow morning. But as temperatures warm back up tomorrow afternoon, I think most of that should start to dry up and go away as we head into tomorrow night, but still use caution as temperatures fall back to 22 for tomorrow night. But we're generally in a warming trend. From here we go into the 50s as we head into the middle of the week. Some rain showers push through on Wednesday with the cold front, briefly drops us back into the mid 40s for Thursday, but we're going straight up from there back into the mid to upper 50s next weekend. Plenty of sunshine. Then I do think that some 60s could even be in our forecast heading into next week.
You just earned your pay with a 60. Bring more of that, please. 2 straight weeks of this, so we don't like this around here. All right, download the Skywatch weather app for 60s or teens. Doesn't matter. They track it for you. You can get the latest on that around the clock. And to close things out, just another shot of that winter snow blanket in Columbia. Again, this was given to us by USC student Cooper Hines. So this is just something we don't get to see a lot of, and that is a pretty video right there from the Columbia area. So if you want to submit photos, videos, you can do that. Just go to our website. We got some of these coming in from viewers here as well. They're saving up, I guess, maybe for another day there with that one there. But you go to our website, wach.com, and you look for the Chime In app to send us pictures of your wonderful snowman.